Welcome to the storm, the lightning storm. We've got the Orc Shaman today. Bending nature to their will, these shamans wield the raw power of the elements. As weapons, their attacks can be as unstable as they can be fulminating. Wonderful. This guy actually is unlocked as a free tower on level, I believe, 15. Have to be level 15. It gives you like 2 levels to play around with him if you want to, but I actually would recommend that you probably don't because he's pretty bad. I'm being straight with the guys right from the get-go, man. He's pretty bad. But let's talk about why as we go on. As far as skills go, Healing Roots fills the zone with powerful healing roots. Allies over it get healed. Wonderful. So if we combine him with a barracks or something like that, well, he can be a good support tower for barracks, or even heroes, or anything. Meteor Shower. Cast a shower of meteorites that deal damage to an affected area in affected enemies in an area. So area damage. We always love area damage. Meteor Shower, it's pretty good, but it's also really expensive. Static Shock. Lightning strikes now deal extra damage to nearby enemies. So the nice thing about the Lightning Shock is that right from the get-go, you're already doing damage to these guys in a pretty consistent manner. And then we get the Static Shock, we're doing grouped damage to everybody. It ends up being fairly powerful as a tower, right? Ugh. Ugh. It's okay. Alright, that's the best way I can do it, man. It's okay. Alright, so as a low-level guy, he does between 4 and 20 damage. Very inconsistent. Inconsistent. I hate inconsistency, and I'm going to be biased about this guy because I don't like the inconsistencies. First of all, pricey, man, and we're talking $130 right from the get-go, one of the most expensive low-level towers in the game. Moving on, we get $190, $260, really pricey, $320 after that. Just to get up to this 4th-tier tower, we have 35 to 190 damage, which is one of the most powerful mage towers in the game, 35 to 190. That's good, but you also got to watch out because his cooldown on his shot is very slow. Alright, so even doing a lot of damage, if you only shoot once every 25 seconds, it's not going to mean much. Now, it's not every 25 seconds, but you know what I mean. As far as the 3 abilities go, we've got the Healing Roots, which, you know, you're going to need to pop some barracks guys in the way to make that worthwhile. You can get the Meteor Shower here, which we ran out of money now, and we need to send out the next wave to figure out what's going on. What you're going to notice is against these units right here, he's going to struggle a little bit. Mainly because, you know, guys are coming out not in groups at this point. So, he's going to end up basically not hurting people as much as you probably would think. He's only lightning striking one guy at a time. Once we get up to this right-sided upgrade, which is probably the upgrade that you're probably going to want to get, the Static Shock right here. It's going to start grouping these guys together. Not only do you hurt them and stun them. Oh, there we go. 5,000 damage with that. All right. Not only do you hurt them, you also stun them and can do the group damage. So all of those sound like really, really good things. Yeah, it is. It's pretty good. But don't forget about the amount of money that we're spending on all this stuff to make it happen, dude. It's a lot of money. It's not anything to mess around with over here. And we're getting some more footmen to come in here trying to run through. We're going to heal up with some of our units over here, which is pretty sweet. The meteor's crushing people and stuff like that. Nice, nice. So one of the crazy things I think about this tower is the fact that you can upgrade him up to 3rd tier on every single one of the pathways. I was talking about another tower earlier where I thought he was the only one that you could do that. The goblirangs. You can do it with the goblirangs, but you can also do it with the shaman over here. 3 paths every single time. So we're going to do 6 to 26 damage on this, even higher, and then to finish it off, it's 10 to 38 damage. But again, I think the main reason why I find him to be a little bit weird or kind of struggle-licious to work with is that inconsistency in the damage. You never know when it's going to be a big chunk of damage or a low chunk of damage. And because he attacks so gosh darn slow, even that grouped attack damage for like you know, the surrounding units ends up being not as powerful as you want it to be. We already have units sneaking through, and we're spending all of our money over here. It's not like we're dealing with the other units where we're actually spending just a little bit of our money to kill these guys. So that's why I find this guy to be a little bit lackluster. You know, for having to wait all the way to the end of the game to get this guy, I was like, oh, this was actually a little bit upsetting to have to deal with this, you know? I just thought it was going to be a little bit better, to be straight with ya. So I'm not like I don't really hate this guy or anything like that, but I just feel like he's not as good as he probably should be at this level in the game. So here we go. We're gonna get the meteor up 28 to 52, upgrade that up a little higher, and then we do 35 to 65 damage per hit to enemies. So, seems like we should be doing mega stuff over here. Luckily, we have not lost a single life yet, so that's pretty sweet. Yeah, so I feel like I'm ripping on this guy a little too hard. He's not a bad tower. I just feel like he wasn't living up to my standards. I felt like waiting this long, I should have somehow been able to magically have something just a wee bit stronger than what I had right here. So I end up not using him in my games. I find using infernal mages was just a little bit more exciting or fun, you know. You can combine that together with just a bunch of 4th tier mages to do the absolute utter damage right there. But one way that this guy ends up being pretty decent is that if you stun enough people in the range here, if you get a really nice barracks or even some zombies or something like that to stun in the area, then he heals them up, and then you do grouped attacks all on top of that, it can end up being a decent tower. And that's why I'm still going to give him a 6.5 out of 10. I don't like him. I don't really like using him. I feel like the other tower is a little bit more fun and interesting, but in no way, shape, or way is this guy a bad tower. Keep in mind that when I say this, 65%, guys, that's not a failing grade to me. I think that 5 is an average tower, and I've got to give this guy slightly above average. He still does damage. He still does some fun and interesting looking things, but he ends up being kind of expensive for what you're actually getting out of him. I feel like spending this much money on a single tower just doesn't really seem worth it to me in the long run. Of course, if you guys enjoyed my video, make sure you press that like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't. If you think I'm wrong, you think that this guy's one of the best towers in the game, let me know in the comments below. Let everybody know that I'm stupid and that I'm using him wrong. And that's fine. That's cool. I mean, the more we know, the better we can figure this stuff out, the better we're going to be at this game. But I don't personally like him. Alright? That's my final word. And, of course, have a super duper delicious day.